Welcome back to another episode of Joe's Garage. Alexa, turn the workshop on. So I wanted to employ some shop automation and I wanted to use off-the-shelf products. So we did a bunch of searching around Amazon to see what was available for smart switches and smart outlets. And I settled on these guys, the Kasa smart outlets and the Kasa smart switches. Mostly I picked these because they have the app, the Kasa app I have an iPhone, so I looked in the Apple App Store. They have good reviews. The app has good reviews. So I kind of picked the devices based on how the app was rated because I didn't want to have to fight with it, and I'm kind of fussy about, my son's an app developer and I'm a programmer as well, so I'm kind of fussy about my app. So it's a good app, so I was happy with that. So not the cheapest solution. If you're looking for something that's real low budget, this is probably not your best choice. Each of these are about 20 bucks each, and I had to buy a couple each of them. So I probably have 150 bucks invested in the switches and the outlets. The app is good, and you can control it from your phone or an iPad, which is cool. There's no watch device, which would be kind of handy. I don't have a watch, but it might entice me to buy one if I could turn the dust collector on and off via my watch or something. So maybe that's something to come in the future. And then they're also supported by the voice activated gizmos. So I bought one of these. So I am going to say the keyword here. So if you have an Echo, you might want to put your headset on or something. So I'm not triggering your Echo device. But let me show you what I did. So I want to show you what I did. So when I come in the shop, on the other side of this door right here, there's a switch that I replaced with a smart switch, and it actually turns on all of the pot lights in the ceiling. This switch is a three-way. There's a switch on the behind me, and I only replaced just this one. The other three-way switch is just a regular switch, and so one three-way is a smart switch and one's just a regular three-way, and that seemed to be perfectly fine. It worked good. So that's one of the switches, and then I only have two other smart switches, which I'll show in a minute. But behind the dust collector, there's an outlet, a smart outlet, and it controls the dust collector, and there's a shop vac hiding in this hole behind the table saw right there, which I can probably peek up and show you. And there it is right there. So that's one outlet, and there's another outlet right there, which is task lighting for these tools back in here, along with these lights right there. It's a smart outlet. There's another smart outlet in the middle of the shop right here, this guy right here, and he controls the lighting over the table saw and the lighting, this light right here. And I think that's it, just those two things. Eventually I probably will put the air filter on a smart outlet as well. I don't have an extra one, so I didn't hook him up, but it seems to control it has plenty of oomph to handle the dust collector, so I'm sure it would handle this guy as well. So that's a long-term plan. So probably one more smart outlet, and then I got another smart outlet here, which then controls the task lighting over the bins and the tools and stuff, and then also the task light above the workbench. And then the last two switches are these two switches here, which are double. Both of those switches are smart switches, and they control the outlets that's back in there, and that's basically for the two speakers, and the two speakers as the other speaker, and then the mixing board, which is right there. These are the things I was using. They're available around Christmas time, and they're remotes for Christmas lights and stuff. But it comes with 3 receptacles in the remote control, and each receptacle has 2 outlets in it, and then an on-off on the remote. So before, when I wanted to power the shop up, as I walked through the door over here, I could catch the light, which would turn all of the pot lights on in the ceiling, and then I could then hit these 2 switches, which powers up the stereo, the two powered speakers, and also the mixing board. And then I would come here, there, I've taken them off the pegboard, but then right in this empty space right here, there were the two remote controls with the three remotes, with the 3 buttons each. And I powered up, I think 3 or 4 of them. So it was a lot of turning switches on to get everything powered up. And then of course, to shut everything down, it was a lot of powering things down. And I actually would often forget to turn the stereo off because it's hard to tell. You just get a little tiny blue light here on the mixing board, and then the speakers, it's probably hard to tell on the video, but this light right here, where the name of it is actually lit up. So, but it's hard to tell, very subtle. So what I ended up doing was I put a night light here in the outlet, in the empty outlet. So when I had the outlet powered, the night light was on, and when I turned all the shop lights off, the night light would kick on, and I would see it. The door to the shop, it has glass in it here. So I would then see that light was still on. It's like, oh, I forgot to turn something off. So it was a pain. Now I just walk in the shop, give the command verbally, and everything powers up. And when I'm leaving, the very last thing I do when I go out the door is give the command and power everything down. So it's much easier. I was kind of hoping I would be able to do verbal commands for the dust collection, but it works turning them on, but it doesn't work turning them off. So, but I still have remote control with them from a phone. And I may put at some point like a dedicated iPad or something in here where I could just mount it on the wall and just have dedicated access to it. So that might be kind of cool. But anyway, that's basically how I used to do it and how I'm doing it now.
So I'll show you an example of replacing a smart switch. It's pretty easy to do. If you've ever replaced a electrical outlet or electrical switch, you can easily do this. It's not any more complicated than that. It's just a matter of taking the old switch out. The old switches in this case I'm replacing both of these. So take everything apart, pull it all out. There's not much to this. It's pretty standard stuff. Easy to do. So once I've confirmed that there's no electricity running to it, I have the circuit breaker shut off. I'm going to disconnect the switches. It's pretty easy to do. This first line is the power line that sends the power, so we'll kind of keep track of it. It's the one with the red twist nut on it. The rest of the stuff I either just unscrew from the outlet, or if the case the wires are pushed into the outlet, just clip them off. Again, just the normal standard way to get this done. And I'm going to strip the wires back and get them ready to be put on the new outlet. So here I'm stripping the wires, getting ready to put the Kasa switches in. I actually wire the switches up off camera because it's kind of a mess and tedious. You don't need to watch me fumble around with all the wires. Once you get them wired, basically there's 2 black wires on each switch. One black goes to power and one black goes to the other side of the switch. So here you can see the power wire comes out of the wall and goes to a black wire on each. The other black wire then on each switch then goes to the other side of the switch, and then green to green and white to white. So super easy to do. If you've ever wired a switch up, it's real easy. And this is me just blasting the cover back on, getting it all put in place, buttoning it up nice. I did a bunch of switches in the shop this way, but I only showed this one. They're all the same, so pretty easy to do. And go flip the power back on, and it lights the switch up. And then using the Kasa app, which there's a bunch of YouTube videos on how to do this, but it's pretty easy. Go into the phone, go into your Wi-Fi setting. The switch is going to put out a Wi-Fi signal. You connect to that Wi-Fi signal and go in until you want to add a device. I'm going to pick the device. I'm going to pick a smart switch. I'm going to pick the smart switch. I'm going to say it's blinking orange and green. That's my Wi-Fi for the switch, and then it configures itself. Then I add it to my home Wi-Fi, and then I'm going to let it update itself real quick, and then we're all done. It's pretty easy. You just follow the prompts on the app. It tells you what to do. There's really not much to it. And then before you leave the Kasa app, you're just going to name the device, and it gives you a name, and then at this point, after you name it and you save it, then the Kasa app will let you turn it on and off by individual piece. So then I'm going to go into the Alexa app, and I'm going to Alexa already understands all this stuff, but I made a group called the workshop, and I added all of the stuff to this group. It's pretty easy to do. You can create a subgroup like you see dust management, but here I'm going to add the new smart switch, and you can see that it shows up here, stereo 1 and stereo 2. I'm just going to select them, and it puts them in the group. And then now when I say turn the workshop on or turn the workshop off, all the stuff that's selected in here gets turned on or off. So also super easy to do, not difficult at all. And you can control it either through the app or from the Echo device itself. So then you can go into the shortcut app, which is pretty cool. If you have an iPhone, you can download the shortcut app. It's free. And then I'm going to pick I want to add it to an app. I'm going to pick the Kasa app. I'm going to say I want to turn on or off something. I'm going to say I want to turn, I'm going to pick off because I'm actually already made the on. I'm going to pick the shop vac, and then it creates a shortcut, which I'm now going to name. Forget to name it, so back up a second, and then name it, and then shop vac off. Ooh, bad typing. Shop vac off. There we go. Then I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to go back into it, and I'm going to say add it to the home screen, and it creates a widget on the home screen, which I can then go get. Then you can see the new widget that it created, and I'm going to grab it, edit it, drag it into my shop automation menu, and then it'll create a button for me. Now I have a shop vac on and a shop vac off. I can just click them. Of course, they work from the Kasa app as well. So once this is all done, you can see that I have shortcuts for on and off for the shop vac and the dust collector, and then the Kasa app shows all the switches and all of the outlets, and each outlet has the upper and the lower individually controllable. And then in the Alexa app, you can go into devices and you can look, and I made a separate subgroup for dust management, which has the dust collector and the shop vac in it. I can turn them on and off at once, or I can go into the workshop, and all of the stuff is in there as well, all the plugs, the upper and the lower, and then all the switches. And you can control them individually, or you can control them all as a group, or Alexa also understands all of it as well. So this is all just standard app.
Well, I hope this helped you figure out a way to automate your shop. I know I've been looking for a solution for a long time to try to find something that worked and that was easy, that wasn't too complicated. It wasn't going to be an ongoing maintenance problem. And I think I found it. I've lived with it now for about a month, and I'm pretty happy with it. The only thing that really doesn't work as well as I wanted it to was being able to turn off the two dust collection items verbally. So I'm looking for a solution for that. I think the shortcut process may actually be the key to that. I think I can put a shortcut on the watch. So I'm going to investigate doing that and see if that works out. That might entice me to buy a watch. I'm not sure, but anyway, good luck with your shop automation. And if you come up with something that works for you and is an awesome solution, or if you have any comments or suggestions about what I've done or any questions, leave me a note in the comments and I'll check it out. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Alexa, turn the workshop off.